I'm Suzanne Sibylla. I'm the owner of Sibylla and Associates, which is the premier leadership and employee development company. Overcome obstacles, reframe your reality, love life, and have growth goals. Change and shift your energy. Pivot. Welcome, everyone. I'm Suzanne Sibylla, your host of Pivot Now, where we bring on interesting, exciting, and dynamic guests who will share with us their tips, tricks, and life and business hacks to help you pivot in your life. I am so excited to bring this guest on our show. She is absolutely amazing, and you're going to love her. So you got to watch our show all the way to the end, folks, all the way to the end, because she's going to drop a lot of gold nuggets here. I just know it. So let me tell you a little bit about her background. She is a top 40 Billboard singer and musician. How great is that? I mean, wow, that is so fabulous. So she's been on the radio. She's also been on TV. She's also been on commercials. Absolutely amazing. Let me tell you her background, though. She was severely bullied when she was in middle school, so much so that she lost her sense of self-esteem and confidence. And so now what she does is she has a platform, a business called Music with a Message, and she goes out to schools and she helps to empower students in their self-confidence and self-esteem and has an anti-bullying message. I think that is so fabulous. Welcome to our show, Caley Rose.
Thank you.
Welcome. There she is. The awesome, the amazing Caley Rose. I just love it. So excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is so great. And we've got like a red going on here. The bright colors.
Fairy colors today.
Yeah. So we want to know more about your background and really how you pivoted. I mean, that's pretty severe, having severe bullying going on. Tell us about that. And tell us about that.
I felt like I've had maybe 3 different pivots in my life. So I was bullied when I was middle school. In middle school, I hated myself because of that for a very, very, very long time. I would say I had truly zero confidence. I wanted to be someone other than myself. I did not want to be myself. When I had to be on my own with my own thoughts, it was a really unhealthy place. You know, you don't like spending time with people who are mean to you. And I was mean to myself. So I didn't want to be alone with my own thoughts. I would put on distractions all the time so I didn't have to be alone in my own thoughts. And then I found myself in the emergency room in New Jersey after getting bitten by a dog, and I didn't have anything with me. My phone ran out of battery. It was just me and my thoughts, and there's nothing more extenuating than being alone with your thoughts in an emergency room, you know? So I kind of woke up one day when I was in my early 20s and realized, like, wow, this is apparently as good as life is going to get. Like, I'm as young as I'm ever going to be. I'm as thin and good looking as I'm ever going to be. And I hate myself. So I would like to work to improve myself and to like myself more. And then I started studying and going to therapy and journaling a ton and reading a ton and making a concentrated effort to learn to like myself. And so I always say, if you hate yourself, you start here. And a lot of people talk about self-love, but self-love is so far beyond what we can fathom when we don't like ourselves. So first you got to work to self-like through self-gratitude, and then hopefully you can work to the self-love. So now, you know, I get on stages and I empower children, and I'm very, very, very happy to be able to authentically say, I love myself. I really do, you know, and it's not a lie. You can work to get to this place.
Wow, that's an amazing story. I mean, because I know a lot of bullying goes on. I mean, you know, I have a son, and I know that a lot of that goes on in schools right now, and it's really horrific to see that and to hear about it. So what would you suggest or recommend if, you know, I mean, we've got a lot of parents out there in our audience. If they're a parent and you suspect that there's bullying going on, what do you suggest or recommend?
Oh, there are so many things. We luckily have some time. But my mom did everything she could. And she did, she tried to get me pulled away from the class that person was in and make sure to protect me in that way. And I spoke to someone yesterday and we talked about how, yeah, if your son or daughter is being bullied and you have to move schools, it's a difficult process. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you need to pull someone away from that situation. And I was just saying to you when we were talking earlier, if you are in a store and someone is being mean to you and mean to you, bullying is more than just being mean to you, but that's my small world example. If someone is being mean to you, you don't have to interact with them. You can walk away. You can get yourself
Mm-hmm.
out of that situation. If you have a friend who you realize, this person actually isn't a healthy relationship, luckily you don't have to see that person anymore because it's a big world out there. But in school and, in work environments, sometimes it's hard to escape from that person. So, yes, of course, teach your kids to stand up for themselves, make their bodies big, make their voices big. In my Music with a Message program, we talk a lot about healthy bodies, big, confident bodies inform confident minds, confident thoughts inform our confident words and beliefs and actions. And so that all informing each other like a feedback loop. So modeling that for children and encouraging it in them. And I also talk a lot about growth mindset. If the voice in our head berates us because we make a mistake, first, where are we getting that from? Is that maybe how parents can improve how they interact with their children? And it's hard, right? Sometimes to take a good hard look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That voice in our head can bully us, and it comes from somewhere, right? Either we made a mistake and we started talking like that to ourselves, or something precipitated that. Because when we come into the world, we are eager to love. We are so ready to love and be loved in return. So I always tell the kids, it's only hurt people that hurt people,
So
which I didn't
true.
realize at the time. My mom tried to tell me, but now looking back, it was like, oh yeah, no one who's happier than you or more successful or happy in their life would ever turn around and be unkind to you. There's no reason to do so. But
Mm-hmm.
that's hard when you're in the middle of it to see that it's actually not about you because it feels so about you. They're attacking you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we also talk a lot about um, controlling your own thoughts and not believing what the bully says, because it's so easy to start believing something that someone else and saying, is this really true? Because when I woke up this morning, I was feeling great. And now someone's telling me that orange sweaters are bad. I don't need to believe that. I don't choose to believe that, but you have to really, really, really be strong in order to come up against that. So it's challenging. And like I said, there's so many different levels of this, right? And I've been talking to child psychologists about how to get the message out there the best.
Yeah, and especially too with social media, right? Because there's a lot of bullying going on social media as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And
And
it's hard to
so,
just,
yeah, it's hard to like control it, if you will,
uh,
and really making sure that your, child or is really safe and
yeah.
protected. And because what I find too is that a lot of times it's the victim, the one that's being bullied, that needs to like ends up leaving the situation. It's like a lot of times it's not the bully themselves that ends up leaving. It's usually the victim, which is really
Yeah.
upsetting.
Absolutely. And then that changes their whole life. And that's not fair to them. They shouldn't have to, but in order to
Right.
protect themselves, there's, many different things we can do to protect ourselves. And if leaving is one of them, it's so hard. But there should be more repercussions for the bully themselves, So I don't know. I zoom out and I think that person must have something else going on. Maybe I'm not the person to teach them that lesson, and I try to lean into empathy, but it can be challenging when that person is, bullying.
Yeah. So how do you overcome obstacles and how do you pivot?
So, yeah, I mean, even now as an adult, I often go live on social media and I'm either putting on makeup or doing something or singing. I have my keyboard right over here.
Uh-huh.
And I'll now encounter online trolls. 5 years ago, me, definitely 10, 15 years ago, me would have crawled up in a ball and cried, which we need to do when we get hurt, right? Release those emotions, letting out tears, what ups our serotonin or dopamine, you probably know better than that, but releases vitamin K and all that. But after we feel those emotions, realizing that person must be having a really awful day. So now I really will get on, and respond to them. Because once it was okay, just block those people. But I can come from this place where I'm honestly like, are you okay? Because you must not be. And you probably
Mm,
don't want to hear that because in the moment they don't want to. but I'm so sorry for what you're going through, and whatever it is, I'm here for you, even though, I don't know you, but it's hard. It took me a long time to get to that place because I was missensitivity.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's like, build a tough skin, build a tough skin. And you're just kind of like, how? I'm a feeling human being. I don't like when people are mean to me,
Right. Especially too, because we're in the public eye, right? And
Yeah.
you post a lot on social media. So you're going to get that. You're bound to get like the
Yeah.
trolls and the haters, out there, as well as the ones that are like, yeah, I love what you're doing and all of that. So
Yeah.
I like that you did that though, that you actually, sent a message to the trolls
Yeah.
and like, like they're coming from a part of pain, where they
Yeah.
want to be noticed or they want to be
Yeah.
noticed.
Yeah. And standing up. I had a friend who was it was live like a week ago, and she messaged me afterward to say, you were really compassionate with that person, but I also think maybe say, hey, we don't tolerate bullying here. If you do it again, I'm going to have to ask you to leave, or something like that, So both being strong and being compassionate, but protecting yourself first and foremost.
Yes,
If that
definitely.
comment just hits a chord, certain comments are going to hit us in other ways. If you said brunettes are bad, I'm going to be like, obviously, I don't believe that at all anywhere in me. But if you say I'm fat, that's going to tap into my younger self who felt fat and maybe was a little bit overweight and didn't have a healthy relationship with food for a very long time. That comment's going to, take root in a different way. So protect yourself first. Stand up, obviously. I have a song called Stand Up. That's what we sing in schools. And we try to talk about different methods to stand up.
That's great. I love that. I love that you have that. I mean, that you have a business and that's what you call it, is music with a message, and the song and everything. That's so fabulous. So we're going to find out more.
So hard. So anyone who's going through that, be sitting here saying, oh, if I could have done it differently, who knows, and the bullying is going to make them stronger and teaching them resilience and the growth mindset. There are so many different things you can do, and you're doing them all right. Point blank.
So true. So true. I mean, I think that is, the sense of resilience, grit. I mean, being able to stand for yourself and stand up to a bully. I think those are all, great qualities to have. So, and building that sense of self-confidence and self-esteem, I think is so important along the way as well.
But even as adults, sometimes we encounter a problem and we're just like, what do you do? I'm writing this children's book about bullying. It's about my dog, and it's evolved. But I had this phone call with my husband, and I'm like, what happens to Sadie when she meets the bully? What do we have her do? Because if she runs off and she tells someone, is she going to be considered a tattletale? But yes, if it gets bad, you do need to share it with someone else and get a team behind you of loving people. So it's that difficult balance, because we don't want our kids to be tattletales, right? But yeah, you need to tell. You can't keep this to yourself, because there are people who are here to help you and support you.
A very important message to get out there. Definitely very important, because I think a lot of times kids don't want to say anything because they're like, oh, I don't want to think on them. I don't want to tell them, and then if they do tell, then the other kids are going to say, oh gosh, that was that person that told. And, and then they start. So, but it is important. It really is important to say something. Definitely say something, because there is a lot of support out there. Definitely. Yeah. So we're going to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to find out from Caley, her 3, 2, 1, go. We're going to hear from her about 3 tips, 2 strategies, and 1 action item to pivot our life forward right after this.
Hi, I'm Kelly Melissa Reinhart, host of Make Mental Health Matter. Join me on Mondays at 11 a.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the Achieve TV network right here on E360 TV.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here with Caley Rose, and I'm Suzanne Sevilla on Pivot Now. So we're going to find out from Caley what we call 3, 2, 1, go. She's going to give us 3 tips, 2 strategies, and 1 action item to pivot our lives forward. So go ahead. Go ahead, Caley.
I wrote it down. So I got to make sure to cover each one. I can only say what worked for me. And like I said, I've had a couple different pivots in life, career-wise, because we'll, shift to that. Getting very clear about what you want, because for so long I let other distractions come in and didn't think it was possible for me, but writing a very clear picture. From that, another tip, one of my favorite exercises, maybe this is a strategy, I don't know, is writing down your perfect day. From the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, what is happening in that day? Because getting really honest in an intimate setting like journaling will help you figure out what you're missing that you really want in life. And then another thing would be realizing that life is possible. And some people might be like, oh, of course it's possible. No. Like, there are people living that life right now. It is possible. There are people with billions of dollars in our world. Why not you? And so that's my strategy. Whenever I see something that I'm interested in, why not me? Why not you? Because so often imposter syndrome comes in, and imposter syndrome is always in our mind, and that fear voice saying, well, why you? Why me? It shouldn't be me. But injecting a little why not me just opens the doors of possibility in our mind to trying to see how to make that work. Because my life changed when I did that journal exercise. I didn't even realize it was like the tectonic plates of the earth shifted. So I can't recommend those two strategies enough.
Wow. I want to hear a little bit more about that, because I love that perfect day. I actually use that with a lot of my clients, and it's an amazing. So I'd love to hear that.
I was living in New York beforehand. I was living in New York. I was in a relationship with someone that I cared about, but I didn't realize that true love existed. I was way too afraid to break up with this person. And you had someone that you loved and you cared about, and I thought, well, this is it. But when I got really honest about what I wanted, it was living in California. It was finding the love of my life. It was driving a convertible that a commercial had paid for. And some things happened in my life and in my family that moved me across the country. I had no choice but to move to Los Angeles after years of being like, I'd like to do that, but nothing was pulling me across the country. Something pulled me across the country. And then I met my dream man. I mean, truly, he's in that house right now with my toddler. And I realized that true love really could exist. And then it actually took me like a year after getting this commercial and after buying my Audi convertible that I realized, oh my gosh, I wrote that down on paper. I meant in my mind an on-camera commercial where people would see my face, but it doesn't matter. It's amazing what happens when you start to get clear, and they say your subconscious will start to look for ways to make that work.
So true. I love it. That's gold right there. That's gold. That's heart and flame right there. I love it. I love it, Caley.
Thank you.
So fantastic. Yeah, I like I said, I do this with my clients all the time, and it's so great to see the transformation. I mean, I have clients that they wrote down that, they want to start a family, they want to write a book, a best-selling book, they want to start their business, and it's just so amazing. Like, all of those things have happened, right? Because they wrote it down, they're very intentional about it. Yeah, it's so great.
And the most important thing, my one action was taking action, because a lot of people with the law of attraction, I mean, that changed my life too. That was another pivot, but you have to start taking small actions in the direction of your dreams every single day. It doesn't have to feel big. You can break it down into SMART goals and take action every single day, because sitting around is not going to get you your life, your dreams. If you want to meet that dream person, they're not in your living room unless they are. Or online date, that's a little.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's talking about my husband, so it works.
Yeah, there you go. Love it. Love it. So this is fantastic. I love this so much. I mean, it is a lot about being intentional in living, right? Being intentional and actually writing that out, because you can make it happen rather than just saying, okay, I'm going to dream about it, but take action towards it too.
Yeah. And the fact that get jealous, let yourself get jealous, because I'm not someone who sees a baseball player on TV and is like, well, there's my dream life. I didn't get that. I don't care about baseball or basketball or so many other things. But there are people who might see an MMA fighter and that might be their thing that they're so jealous of. So figuring out the why behind that and then trying to make that happen for yourself, because I don't know how many lives we have, but I know I have this one.
So true. And I think the other part of that too is connect with others, right? Yeah. Build a sense of community, or have a community that are, with people that are positive, uplifting, that are doing the kinds of things that you want to do, That's also the way to fast track where you want to go.
I mean, how did you get the show, right? You thought about it, you believed it was possible, and you started taking action, I presume.
Yeah, exactly. All those things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're incredible.
So glad to have you on our show. How can we connect with you, Caley?
Yes, so I'm everywhere. Caley Rose, Caley, roses in the flower. Caley, roses in the flower. Except for TikTok, where it's Caley Rose Music. But you can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all the places. And Music with a Message is at my website, CaleyRose.com/music with a message. You can connect me with your child's principal or music teacher. I'm bringing this all over the country, empowering music into schools to help kids build confidence. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun, and it's a great assembly.
Yeah, that sounds great. So where are you going to be next? I mean, what
So
school?
Charleston. We were supposed to be in Charleston today, but there's are you on the East Coast? I forget.
On the West Coast, California. Yeah, San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we're getting hit by this big winter in February. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Got to connect with you then.
No,
So that would be great. That would be fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah. So is there anything that I haven't asked you that you want to talk about?
I mean, Music with a Message is another pivot in my life. I wasn't doing this 2 years ago. So I really like to tell people, if there's something that you want to do, 6 years ago, I wasn't songwriting at all. I didn't have music in my life. I thought I was happy because I was making money. I was using my voice for a living, and I'm very thankful for voiceover, but I was in a career that wasn't my true passion. So 6 years ago, wasn't doing this. And then 2 years ago, I didn't even have Music with a Message. And I started really, really building this empowering music program in schools. And it changed my life in a different way. So you can be in this seat saying, wow, I can't believe I wasn't here a year ago. It's crazy the way life takes us. And I want to hear about your pivots too.
Yeah, so true. That is so true though. Yeah, isn't that is so true though. I mean, I and that's great that it's only been 2 years. Wow, I didn't realize it was only 2 years. That's fantastic, Caley. Oh my gosh.
I know. So far we've empowered 26,000 students. I started it because I wanted to reach middle school girls like myself who had been bullied. And then a lot of principals said, well, we want to reach boys too. And I was like, okay, yeah. I won't just do my female empowerment music. I have people empowerment music. And then I started going into elementary schools and preschools and high schools. So now we have a couple separate programs. The subject matter and how I talk about empowerment and bullying is different in every context. And the song lists are different. And of course, the way I talk to a kindergartner is very different than the way I talk to even a middle schooler or a high schooler, because they just want to be they're adults already in their minds.
Right. So different, definitely. Yeah. So can you lead us out with a song?
Sure. Good thing I warmed up before. All right. How much time do we have? You want a whole one or just like a verse and a chorus?
The whole one. I think we have time.
All right.
Definitely.
I don't know if you can see. Okay. Do I have my pedal? Yes, I do. So we're living in this Airstream trailer, taking Music with a Message on tour. So we're still getting used to this little setup. But this was our crazy dream 2 years ago that we're making a reality. All right.
Fantastic.
You might not be able to see the keyboard. There we go. Okay, so this is called Stand Up. There we go. And Stand Up is a song that I bring into schools to talk about how to stand up for yourself. So I kind of got my face out of here. Okay. Here we go. If you could see you like I see you, you wouldn't hide your light. You wouldn't fear the fight. If you could see you like I see you, you'd stand up for your rights and not apologize when the fight affects your life. You need to speak your mind. It's an uphill climb. Stand up. You deserve to be here. Stand up. Oh, this is your year. Stand up. You deserve to be heard. Raise your voices. Stand up. If you could see you like I see you, you'd finally unite. Allies at your side. If you could see you like I see you, generations vibrations nationwide will hear your rally cry. When the fight affects your life, you need to speak your mind. It's an uphill climb. Stand up, you deserve to be here. Stand up, oh, this is your year. Stand up, you deserve to be heard. Raise your voices, let me hear ya. Stand up. Now this is the part where you get to sing along. Ready for it? All right, here it comes. I see strength, I see truth, I see power, I see change, I see hope. We can lift each other. Strength, truth, power, change, hope. We can be the future. Let me hear you. Stand up, you deserve to be here. Stand up, oh, this is your year. Stand up, you deserve to be heard. Praise your voices. Last time. Stand up, you deserve to be here. Stand up, oh, this is your year. Stand up, you deserve to be heard. Raise your voices. Stand up.
Woo! I love it. That was fabulous.
I started doing the call. Like, I didn't teach it to them, but usually I teach it to the students first.
That is so great. Love it, love it, love it, love it so much. Thank you
Awesome.
so much for being on our show. This was absolutely amazing. You're incredible.
You're incredible.
Love what you do. And to all of you out there, we're on every Tuesday, 10 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Live life abundantly. Pivot now. Change and shift your energy. Pivot